Alright, so I'm going to show how to open up and disassemble this Lenovo IdeaPad Gaming 3 15IMH05, model name 81Y4. Alright, so we're going to use a PH1 or JS1 screwdriver to remove all the screws from the bottom. You want to keep all the screws in order because they can be different size, shape, and lengths. The way I do that, put the flat side down like that on my desk in the pattern I remove them. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and go across and just remove all these screws. Again, you want to keep them in order. I do that by keep them in the rows. So there's 3, 3, and then 4. Alright, so we're just going to do that. If this video helps you, make sure to like, subscribe, and share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices. If it helps you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. These are customer computers, but as I continue to make videos, I get actually less and less customers as people learn how to repair devices on their own. Alright, and also because it's a customer's computer, keep in mind that I won't have the computer by the time you see this video. So, yeah. Alright, anyways, we got all these screws out. It looks like the screws down here are much shorter than the rest, so if you do happen to mix them up, hopefully that will help. Alright, now that we've gotten the bottom screws out, we're gonna go ahead. Oh, this one I forgot. So they have a broken screen here and it's doing weird stuff. So I need to shut this down, but let's go ahead and pop the bottom cover off. Okay, so I'm gonna shut this thing down. Where's the power button? Stop moving. Alright, this one's in another language, so actually everything is in a different spot than it usually is. Alright, anyways, now what I do is I get my fingernails in this gap here, and then I'll push with my thumb. Be careful not to push on the trackpad. You want to push on the palm rest area. Okay, and as you can see, we can go ahead and pop the cover out just like that. So we're going to go all the way around. Ooh, there's a lot of dust in here actually. Okay, so normally I wouldn't do this with it face up like this, but to make it easier for you guys to see, that's how I'm doing it. Alright, so now that we've gotten part of this case up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide my fingernail under here. You can use plastic tools to do this. You don't need to use fingernails. And then while I'm pulling the cover up, I'm just going to slide my fingernail along. There we go. Same thing with the other side. Okay, pull the cover up, and then I'm going to slide my fingernail along. Okay, and then you want to be careful with this little gap here. We're going to go across, and same thing. There we go. Okay, and then we're going to pull up, make sure we got all of this side out. There we go. And let's see if we can wiggle this off. Nope, it's still stuck pretty strong. So I guess we need to go down this side as well. So let's pull this up and go down. Switch over to this side, same thing, lift it up. Again, you can use plastic pry tools to do this, but I just use my fingernails. Okay, so this middle, hopefully we can kind of, there we go, wiggle it and pull it up. And here you can see there's a thermal pad there. There's a lot of dust on here and 2 fans. Okay, so I'm opening this so that I can actually disconnect the battery here. So it looks like there's a slot for a 2.5-inch SATA hard drive here. But I don't see where this connects to the, oh, okay. So they have this little flip latch. Let me zoom in here. So it looks like you'd have to buy an adapter or to buy the SATA cable here. So they don't have it. They have the bracket, but you'll need 4 screws and then you'll need the SATA connector. If you're putting an SSD, a 2.5-inch SATA SSD in here, you don't really need to worry about the screws to hold it in place because the cover will prevent it from shaking around too much. Alright, and then let's see here. There's another slot here. I'm not sure if that's for an SSD. It says storage only. Okay, so this is for another smaller SSD, it looks like. Okay, and then they have this M.2 PCIe NVMe SSD. There's one screw, it pops up at an angle, you can pull it out afterwards, and you can actually put the longer type of SSD, it looks like, over here. Okay, then we got the 2 sticks of RAM. Let's actually disconnect the battery just in case, since this computer likes to turn itself on. I'm going to zoom out here. Okay, and let's go ahead and undo the screws. So on this model, I am going to be showing or replacing the screen. So, man, that sucks. It looks like I might have to take the whole motherboard out for this. I don't know. Will I be able to get that screw without... okay, I can actually get the screw without lifting the whole motherboard out. I might take some screws out just to lift it slightly to make it easier to access, but we'll see. All right, so let's get the battery back out again, sorry. All right, so we got that one screw, we got this one screw down here. Okay, let's go along, and then we got 2 other screws. So we got another screw here, and it looks like there's a warranty sticker. So it's already kind of cracked, which is kind of weird. Usually these stickers shouldn't be cracked like that unless somebody already tampered with it. I like to try and save it, but this one most likely I won't be able to. So let's see here. Let's try and peel this sticker up without damaging it. Okay. Oh, nope, it just tore. Okay, so we're just going to peel all this sticker off here. Okay, you don't really need to peel the sticker off. You can just use the screwdriver and punch through it, but I don't like to leave this residue stuff behind if I can. Okay, so we're just going to take that off. Oh, looks like some of it's stuck in there. Can't really help it. Alright, so let's go ahead and remove this screw. Okay, now that we got those 4 screws out, we should be able to lift this up. Okay, so let's go ahead and lift the battery up slightly here. Is there another screw hidden somewhere underneath? It feels like it's caught on something. Okay, it looks like there's a little latch that slides underneath here. So we're going to lift this up and then slide this back. Let's see, is that going to work? Huh, what's holding on to this here? I see this latch here, but for some reason it doesn't want to come out. So I'm pulling this up, sliding this back. Huh, what's holding this down? That's very strange. It's stuck in there real good, actually. Do I need to pull this back? Okay, so I pulled that latch by hand, and there we go. Okay, so now let's go ahead and get the battery. To remove this, I usually will use my fingernails here. Oops, I latched it back down. Well, let's go ahead and try and remove the connector first. So I use my fingernails at the edge of the connector, and then I like to kind of just wiggle it if I can. So just like this, left, right, left, right. All right, it's kind of holding in there pretty strong. I might have to actually, okay, let's take the battery back out of here and see if I can lift it slightly. Okay, all right, let's try again. So we're going to try and wiggle this connector from left to right. Let's see, can I actually reach the outer edges of it? Yes, I can. All right, there we go. So you can see I used the wings to kind of just wiggle and pull that connector, and it came out. All right, so here the battery model number, if you need it, is right there. L19D3PF4. Okay, so you're going to set that aside. I am going to have to clean out the dust from here because it is pretty dusty. All right, you can see the keyboard connector is going underneath the SSD here. You got the BIOS, oops, sorry. You got the BIOS CMOS RTC battery here underneath. You can actually get the connector from underneath. Speaker connector here running along to the other speaker. Okay, now the RAM, let's pull these 2 tabs aside, pops up. You got 8 gig PC4 3200 AA. All right, so there you go. You also have the motherboard model numbers here, I believe. Okay, so if you need that, you can look that up. That looks like the motherboard model number. You will want to make sure to match your GPU and CPU models, okay, because it looks like they're actually soldered to the board, so you can't actually transfer them over. Right. Anyways, after removing the battery, to be safe, you want to open up the computer and then press and hold the power button for about 15 seconds. I have to kind of put pressure on the back because it feels like the motherboard's actually moving back. So you want to hold this about 15 seconds to drain any residual power to make it safer to work on. Right, so we're just going to hold that about 5 more seconds. Okay, I get a lot of people that ask me if they need to do that. It makes it a lot safer to work on, so, and it only takes 15 seconds, so just do it. All right, you got the wireless card here. If you want to know how to remove the wireless antennas, you just pull up on the tails of the wires. If you want, you can watch some of my other videos. I show how to do that. All right, all these kinds of cables, they have these latches where you just flip them up and then you can pull the cable out. This one is for the keyboard backlight, this one's for the keyboard, and this is for the touchpad or trackpad. Okay, and there's not really much else in here. I'm gonna disconnect. Ooh, I might have to disconnect the wireless antennas. Okay, I don't know. This is gonna be more tricky than I thought. I was gonna be replacing the screen on this model, and it looks like they made this actually more difficult to do than I was expecting, but we'll see. Anyways, let me clean the dust out here real quick, and I'll be back. See you guys in a bit. All right, I'm back. So we cleaned it up. All right, it's a lot less dusty inside. All right, so let's see here. Am I gonna have to take the motherboard out to do this? That's probably going to be the easiest way. Shoot, because I don't want to have to redo all their thermal paste and everything. Okay, so I guess let's go ahead and remove the motherboard if we have to. So I guess let's take out this metal tray for the hard drive first. It's going to be a lot of screws to keep track of. Alright, so keep that in mind if you are working on this. You are going to have a lot of screws to keep track of. Okay, let me see if, hopefully this isn't glued down. It feels like it might be. This is going to be a much worse repair than I was hoping for. Okay, I could easily disconnect this and pull this back. Why is it stuck in there? Huh. That's weird. This cable, it's connected in there. It's really solid. Can the fans be removed without taking everything out? Let's see here. That might make it easier. Okay, let's take out the fans if we can. And hopefully that will make it so I don't have to. Okay, good. Looks like the fans, are they trapped? Okay, we're gonna have to pull out the wireless antennas. Alright, so let's go ahead and zoom in here. Okay, hopefully it's not gonna be a complete nightmare taking this thing apart, but we'll see. Alright, let's go ahead and pull the tails of the antenna up, just like this. And just like this. So they already marked it, black ones to the black wire, white arrows to the white or gray wire. Okay, now let's go ahead and unroute these antennas from the fan here. Okay, wow, it's kind of caught in there pretty tight, so you're gonna have to work them out. Kind of pull the plastic back. All right, and get that out. There we go. Hopefully we can get this out. Now we're gonna remove the fan connector. I'm gonna use these to make it a little bit easier. We're just gonna grab that and we're gonna wiggle it, and there we go. All right, so now we've got the fan connector out. Let's go ahead and see if we can slide the fans out, hopefully. There we go, perfect. So we can slide the fans out, that's good. All right, we'll set that aside. Oops, hopefully you were able to see that, sorry. But basically the fans were in here like that. Okay, you can lift it up slightly, wiggle it out. It gets a little bit caught there, but there you go. All right, looks good. The wireless antennas, are they going to be a pain to unthread over there? Oh man, I might actually have to take the motherboard out here. Okay, let's go ahead now and disconnect the LCD LVDS connector. Flip that latch up, and then you can grab this cable and pull it out, just like this. Okay, there's an LCD or LVDS cable connection model number there. If you need it, you can pause and hopefully look that up. All right. I'm wondering if it's going to be easier to just redo the thermal paste. All right, anyways, let's go ahead and disconnect all this stuff. Flip that latch. We'll get out the trackpad connector. You want to grab the blue tab and kind of wiggle and pull this back. I don't know why all these are stuck. Did they put adhesive? Oh yeah, they did. Okay, so it looks like they actually put adhesive underneath all these connectors, so they're going to be a pain to remove. But let's go ahead. All right, SSD, let's go ahead and pull this out because the keyboard connector's underneath there. So as you can see, it pops up at an angle. Then you can go ahead and pull this out. I forgot what the size of this is, but you should be able to tell from the, what do you call, the ratio of the measurements. So yeah, it's about 1 to 2 of this. But yeah, it's a M.2 PCIe NVMe. Again, you can use the full length one. You'll just move the screw all the way over here. All right, keyboard connector, flip that latch up. Man, they put adhesive under all of this. That's gonna be a pain. Okay, let's go ahead and pull that back. Yep, they did. It wasn't holding as strong, but flip that latch up. Let's get the keyboard backlight connector out. There we go. All right, we got the CMOS or BIOS connector battery here. I'm gonna use these to make it easier. Just gonna grab the connector and then we're gonna kind of wiggle it, just like all the other ones. Oops. Just grab it and just wiggle it as you pull. Keep wiggling, keep wiggling. Okay. Need to make sure I'm just grabbing that connector and not the socket itself. Okay, it might be easier for me to use my fingernails, but there we go. Okay, we got that out. We're gonna get the speaker connector out as well. Let's see if I can get my fingernails in there and do that. Okay, you can use whatever works for you. All right, it looks like the pliers might work best, but okay, there we go. I got my fingernails in there. We're just gonna wiggle this, and there we go. Okay, let's see. Oh, this speaker's kind of dirty. Let's clean that off. Okay, so we got one screw down here for the motherboard. Again, we have to be careful here. All right. I wonder how I'm gonna get that out. Do I need to remove this as well? I might. Okay, and we'll remove this thing up here as well. There we go. Yeah, we do have to remove that. Okay, and that's annoying that they put this underneath here. I don't know how we're gonna slowly, carefully peel that up, but we're gonna have to. We'll see what we can do. All right, let's see, where else is a screw holding this down? Hopefully motherboard screws aren't holding it down. Okay, we're gonna work our way over to the side here. I see 2 screws up here, so let's go ahead and remove those 2. Are those the only 2 screws holding it? We'll find out. It would be kind of weird to have that few screws holding this motherboard down. Okay, so this is lifting. This is lifting. Doesn't look like anything is holding it down. Okay, this metal bracket does come out, so you want to be careful and take this out. Don't drop it on the motherboard. Okay, let's see. Can we lift this? Don't tell me these screws here are holding it down. Doesn't feel like it because it wobbles, so are there hidden screws here? Nope. Oh, there's another motherboard model number, part number here if you need that.
السلام عليكم. بعد أن انتهينا من فك الجهاز، الآن ننتقل إلى القسم العملي. مشكلة الجهاز الأساسية بأنه تظهر رسالة تفيد بأنه لا يمكن استخدام منافذ USB. نقوم بتنظيف المكان أولاً. لذلك قمنا بفحص المنطقة القريبة من منافذ USB، وجدنا شورت كما رأينا. الآن سوف نعمل على إزالة هذه القطعة الواصلة بين منافذ اليو اس بي والقطع الأخرى في المذر بورد. ثم نقوم بإضافة قليل من الفليكس ونقوم بإضافة قصدير ونقوم بإضافة قصدير على أرجل هذا الآي سي لتسهل عملية فكه أثناء التسخين. نقوم بالتسخين نقوم بتحريك فوهة التسخين عدم تثبيتها ووضع النقط على القطعة. مجرد أن يذوب القصدير ننزعها بسرعة قبل أن تصل الحرارة إلى القطع الأخرى. نلاحظ أنها تم إزالته بسهولة لأننا أضفنا قصدير، وذلك لأن درجة حرارة انصهاره أقل من القصدير الأساسي. الآن بعد أن أزلنا هذه القطعة فحصت المنطقة، تم إزالة الشورت، ذهب الشورت، ذهبت المشكلة يعني، لكن عزلنا منفذ اليو اس بي عن البورد، لم يعد يعمل الآن. لأنه تم عزله، تم قطع مساره، ولا يمكننا الآن استخدامه إلا بتبديل هذه القطعة. الآن سوف نقوم بتبديل هذه القطعة، وسيعود منفذ اليو اس بي للعمل. وبسبب عدم توفرها لدي سأقوم بتركيبه الآن، وفيما بعد سأقوم تركيب هذه القطعة، لأن هذا الجهاز خاصتي ولا أحتاج الآن إلى هذا المنفذ. وتمت العملية بنجاح، والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. إذا أعجبك المقطع لا تبخل علينا بالإعجاب والاشتراك في قناتنا، والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Okay, put this back in. I don't know what's holding it down. I don't know if these screws are actually holding it. No, it doesn't feel like it. Okay, so we're gonna have to be very careful here. Oh, this cable is holding it down, so I need to actually peel that up. Let's get this connector out. Oops, sorry. Oh man, I keep forgetting I have to zoom out for you guys to see. Okay, so I flipped that latch up. Let me try and get this cable out again. Wow, that one's really stuck. Okay, let's just undo this screw and lift this board out for now. Okay, can I take it out this way, peel it up? Peel off the adhesive. There we go. Man, I don't know why they put adhesive like that. It's so annoying. Alright, anyways, let's go ahead and put this back here since we don't need to leave that out. Actually, let's leave it out. Okay, that might help so that this isn't getting caught on anything. Okay, so that's good. So this we're going to have to peel up, it looks like. So I'm going to try and peel this up. You want to try and keep this cable as flat as possible. So I'm actually pulling it that way as I peel it up. Okay, to try and keep this cable flat, and then I'm going to hold my hand here so that way if the adhesive tears up it doesn't just suddenly tear the cable out of the motherboard. Okay, there we go. Okay, oh, that's a weird adhesive they used. Alright, so it is lifting up, but it's still getting caught on something, but I'm not sure what. Maybe these ports, I see the HDMI ports kind of getting caught. Alright, so I pulled that plastic back, and you can see it's lifting up better now, but it's still getting, oh, this adhesive. Okay, that's really annoying. Alright, what is it caught on? I don't see anything else it's caught on. Okay, so I just pulled the plastic away, and it looks like that's good. Alright, so you want to be careful with this. There's these cables here. What is this wrapped on? Okay, so it's, oh man, are you serious? They threaded this through a hole on the motherboard, as you, if you can see that. Okay, that's a very stupid design. Or I mean, it's stupid in terms of it makes it difficult to do, but it's smart in terms of it makes it difficult to do. Because I'm sure they're doing this so that people can't repair it themselves. Alright, let's go ahead and clean this stuff up. This is way more work than I was expecting. Alright, you got another motherboard model number here. I gotta be careful. You'll just have to read it upside down because I don't want to flip it. I think this is the same as what's underneath the RAM. Okay, I'm gonna be careful here. Because I want to leave the heatsink in place. So let's go ahead now and unthread these wires here. Okay, so we're going to just unthread the wireless antennas. Okay, a very annoying design. Alright, now what we're going to do, we're going to open the screen to about 90 degrees. I'm going to hang this off the edge of my desk. Okay, I have to be very careful here with that motherboard and everything. Okay, let's zoom out. Okay, and then we're going to take out these screws. make sure you get the right one. So it's the two corners. The ones closer to the center are already out from removing the case. Okay, so we're going to remove 2 screws from both sides. You want to hold up the screen so it doesn't fall out. Man, this is going to be very, very annoying. Okay, let's see. So we're going to get these 2 screws out. They use the right stuff. They use red thread locker on here. Okay, because these screws tend to come loose. Alright, so there we go. Now that we got all those screws out, we should be able to lift the screen up and out. Of course, you want to make sure to unthread the wireless antennas completely, as well as the LCD LVDS connector. It's getting caught there. Okay, we're going to lift this out, and I got to be careful because the motherboard is there, but let's go ahead and grab this. Okay, I'm going to put this on top here for now. Let's go ahead and move the keyboard assembly out of the way. So the keyboard assembly is held in place with melted plastic. So if you need to replace the keyboard, I highly recommend replacing the entire palm rest assembly. Okay, so now we're going to be removing the screen assembly. Let's see, where am I going to put this? I need way more work room. So hold on, let me move stuff out of the way. Okay. Hopefully that's enough room. Okay, I'm going to move the motherboard over to the side here. Okay. Alright, so this screen is actually held in place with some adhesive. The top actually doesn't have much adhesive, but the sides and this bottom side do. I actually already took out quite a bit of it, so it's going to be easier than what it will be for you. But basically, we're going to pull this part up and then pull the bezel inwards. Okay, so when you first start, you can actually just, how can I do this to show it? It's upside down. It's not the way I want. Okay, let me flip this stuff over here. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see. So I'm going to pop this up just like that, and then we're going to push the hinge in towards the center, and that makes it easier to unclip the tops like this. Okay, and we're going to work our way over to the other side. Same thing. Okay, just pushing the hinge in towards the center while kind of lifting this middle piece up. Here you can see. All right, let me actually move the screws out of the way a bit more. Okay, it's a very annoying build. All right, so now we're going to do the same thing, pulling the bezel in towards the center. Again, there is going to be some adhesive here, so keep that in mind. It's going to be a little tricky to remove. Okay, we're going to go ahead and go onto this side, same thing. Again, as you can see, as we pull it in towards the center, it unclips. Okay. All right, there's going to be a lot of adhesive under here too. So if you're doing this, make sure you're doing it because your screen's already broken. Otherwise, there's a good chance you're going to end up breaking your screen doing this. Okay, I'm going to rotate this over again. I know that's kind of annoying, but yeah. All right, so let's go ahead now and undo this one. So again, there's adhesive. I was using this tool and pushing the adhesive down inside as I was lifting this. But now that I've already taken out a lot of the adhesive, it should hopefully come out a lot easier. I don't know if does this piece slide at all? No? Huh. Okay, I'm not sure how we get this bezel, bottom bezel piece off, but it's kind of in the way of this, so there's a very good chance we have to pull this bezel off first. So I was trying to get this thing up. No, there's no way. Okay, so we do have to somehow get this bezel off first. Okay, so I'm gonna flip this over again. This is annoying. I don't know. I'm keeping my knee against my metal desk just in case anyone's wondering how I'm keeping myself grounded to work on this stuff. All right, so there's a gap here. I'm gonna try and pop this bezel off. I couldn't get it off while the screen was in place, but it might be what has to happen. Does it roll off? How do you get this thing off? Wow, I don't know, guys. A lot of times these kinds of bezels, you slide them over, but it doesn't seem to want to slide. Let me click it. Oh, okay. Okay, it does slide. There we go. That makes more sense. All right, so this actually has to slide to the left. Then you can pop that off. All right, and now hopefully I can pop off this entire bezel. I'm going to flip this over again. All right. Sorry, guys. I know it's a lot of flipping, rotating, and all that stuff, but it is what it is. All right, so we got all of that. Let's go ahead and pop this up. Again, there is adhesive holding this down normally, but I did push all the adhesive down and tore out some of it, so it's a lot easier now. As you can see, I can just pop this out. Here you can see there's still a little of the adhesive. I'm just going to get rid of it. The adhesive is absolutely unnecessary. They just like to put it in here to kind of make it more difficult to work on. And if you try and just rip it out, this plastic layer here that's on the LCD, that stuff can get ripped out, and it can actually tear the controller cables, the cables that go into the LCD panel itself. So keep that in mind if you were doing this and your screen is okay. You have to be very careful, or you might physically damage the screen permanently. All right, anyways, let's go ahead and peel out all this unnecessary adhesive stuff. I don't want to leave any lumpy adhesive in here that can cause damage to the replacement LCD panel. I forgot to mention, I took out 2 screws from up here. So I took them out earlier because I was trying to see the LCD model number back here. So I was actually pulling this forward. And I was trying to see the LCD model number, but then they unnecessarily attached the hinges to this, so I had no choice. I couldn't just rip that out. So we are going to have to actually also remove the hinges. Very, very annoying, stupid design if people are trying to repair this. If you're trying to make it so it's a throwaway laptop, then it's a very good design, I guess. But yeah, that's kind of bad. I don't know why people are making it so it's a throwaway designs. It's so dumb. All right, so let's go ahead and get the 3rd screw out of here. All right, we're going to do the same thing with the other side. Remove those 3 screws. Hopefully the antennas aren't attached to the back of the LCD panel, because that's going to be even stupider. But we're going to do what we can. All right. Okay, so now we got all 3 screws out. I think, yep, as you can see, the entire panel comes up. We are going to have to get the wireless antennas to go underneath, as well as the screen cable here. And hopefully nothing else is attached to the back of this. I have a feeling the camera cable is going to be attached to, oh yeah, it is. Okay, so this camera cable runs along the back there and it's attached there, so I'm just going to have to be careful here. I'm going to move this cable out of the way. I'm going to unroute that. There we go. And here we can see on the back, so normally, I don't know if you've seen my work on these other models, I can't really maneuver this around all that much because the stupid wireless antennas are attached to that board and then this. But this one has the little metal latch like all the Dell laptops, and then you can pull this cable down. If you've come this far, I'm assuming you already know how to remove this. If you don't, I'm very sorry. But yeah, all right. Anyways, let me see if I can get the screen model number here. As you can see, this is held in with a stretch adhesive. So this part here, these have these pull tabs. They put it behind the screen. Of course, they want to make it as difficult as possible. So this, you kind of just pull and stretch this adhesive. You want to pull it as straight as possible, and that will release the adhesive. It looks like it will fold into an L going up the screen. But anyways, okay, I'm going to take the camera down and I'm just going to show the screen model number here. Okay, so let's see if I can show this here. So, is that upside down? Where's my, oh, shoot, it's upside down, isn't it? Okay, well, I don't know if it's going to flip itself in the camera, but please focus. Okay. Sorry, there you go. So screen model number, here you go, it's over here. So manufactured 2047, I don't know what that means, but it's B156HAN 13.1. All right, so that's the model number. It's made by AU Optronics, hardware number 0A, firmware number 1. But yeah, that's the model number you need, B156HAN 13.1. All right, and again, I don't know if you'll need any of these other numbers, most likely not, but just in case you wanted to see, there you go. There's the latch in close-up detail. And yeah, and then there's this barcode on there, probably the screen model serial number. Sorry, I know the flash is like glaring on it. I don't know. I'm trying to get it off of it. There you go. All right, so anyways, let's go ahead and put this thing back together. I'm gonna flip the screen back down, and sorry, let's get this back up there. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna be putting this back together now, but basically you just snap everything back into place the way you took it out. This is a very annoying design. I'm gonna hate to have to do this a second time, but it is what it is. I am going to leave the what do you call? I'm not gonna put adhesive back on the bezel because it's unnecessary. Technically, the adhesive that holds these on the back are unnecessary as well, but I will put some double stick adhesive back on there when I get to it. Again, those are stretch adhesives, so basically you just pull it straight and it'll stretch, and as the adhesive stretches, it will release the adhesive. So yeah. I don't want to do that on camera because it's going to be a pain, especially with the motherboard hooked on like that. I think I have other videos where I show that process, so if you want, watch a few of my other LCD or screen replacement videos and you should be able to find some. The adhesive is basically the same as what they use for the batteries of the iPhones. Okay, so again, if you're curious to find that, you can watch some of those videos. Okay, let's go ahead and get this bezel back on. Okay, it's a very annoying design. Oh, I didn't put the, let me put the two screws back at the top as well. So there are two silver screws that go up there. Okay, I took them out and left them out. Okay, so we're gonna put those two screws back in there. And I'm just doing this just so I can show you guys what to do. But again, this is a very annoying process. Okay, I think this cable went up there, right? It didn't go underneath, yeah. Right, yeah, okay. Okay. All right, let's get this all lined up. Get that all lined up. And normally I would also add some red thread locker to those screws as well, just a little bit, to make sure that they don't loosen over time. Okay, so yeah, because otherwise a lot of times those screws come loose and then it's not good. All right, and you want to be careful. I know I'm snapping this all back into place quick, but if it feels stuck, don't force it in. It shouldn't be difficult to snap all of this back into place. All right. All right, so let's go ahead now and get this piece in there. Okay, so just get that all lined up again and then slide that over. And there we go, we got that back into place. So now let's get the keyboard and put all of this back into place. This is gonna be annoying. Okay, let me see. Did I do this first with the screen and then the motherboard, I believe? Okay. So, okay, basically opposite of before. Oops, you don't need to see that much of my legs. All right, we'll get this over here. Get that into place here. Okay, again, you want to make sure these cables end up in the right spots, so Make sure you get them to go back into those guided areas. Okay. Make sure you have the gold pins facing down there. Make sure you get the wireless antennas in there as well. Okay. We'll get these 2 screws back. Again, normally I would add some thread locker here, but I am going to have to take this back apart again once I get the replacement screen. So for now, I'm just putting them back as is. Keep that in mind. When you do this on yours, you might want to add some thread locker to it. If you don't have the red, you can use the blue. But just keep in mind, if the screws come loose, you want to take it apart and then add some more thread locker and make sure that the screws remain tight in place. Okay. All right, so now we got all these screws in. All right, now let's go ahead and get this back over here. Does it go that way? Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna get this over here. I'm gonna zoom back in. Whoops. All right, and let's go ahead and close the screen, of course. So I'm gonna lift the laptop up and slowly, carefully close the screen. There we go. Okay, so we have this wire that we pulled out that we're gonna have to pull back over. So, okay. So we're gonna have to thread this back through.